exciting times. Obviously, different voices here. We've got Anthony Corey and myself, Cal and Nuxy. We're taking over Kick Ons this year. So, Nuxy, exciting times ahead. Thoughts?
Yeah, look, they really scraped the barrel of the scraped the bottom of the barrel this time around, haven't they? It's good to have Cal here, brother Cal, helping out. Look, we'll try and make the best as we can with Cam and Huey gone for the time being. Look, we're here and we'll try our very best to give the listeners what they want.
Yeah, we'll put a bit of a different spin on it and, obviously very different people. But, yeah, thanks to Huey and Cam. They did a fantastic job last year. It's our turn now. So, Nuxy, for the listeners out there, tell them a bit about yourself, where you come from, your culture, what your role is at the club now, and,
Yeah, so, look, my role at the footy club now is sort of a Draco of all trades. If something needs to be done, call Nuxy. That's how I feel at the moment. Anyway, I grew up on Larrakia country, up in the Northern Territory, so Darwin. I've got family ties back to Yuendamu, so Walpri, and then also up to Bardu Island as well. Come over here and played footy for the Brisbane Lions in 2003, so I was a part of that three-peat, and then sort of played until 2008, did my knee in 2009, and then headed down to Collingwood, which was very freezing cold, but a good experience. And then back here, worked for an employment company in Serena Russo, did a bit of mentoring and stuff like that, and then now I'm working with the Brisbane Lions to help you guys out as the Indigenous Wellbeing and Engagement Officer. What about yourself, Cal?
Awesome, bros. Cal Nuxy, if you don't know, started my career at Gold Coast, got drafted there in 2015, spent 4 years there, and now I'm at the Lions. I come from Perth. I'm a Noongar man, Bulku man, Nikina and a Yaro boy from up north as well. I've loved my time here at the club. Obviously, love spending time with you, Nuxy. It's always a good laugh with you around, and blokes like Charlie, who we got here.
He's got a big head too.
Yeah. He's got a big head in real life
scale.
too.
1-to-1 scale.
Yeah. I love my time at the club, and I'm excited to do the podcast with you. Obviously presented by Idira here, sponsored by them. Fantastic headphones if you need some headphones. Excited to be sitting down with your brother and, keen to get into it, talk about all things footy and things outside the club as well.
Sweet, bro. Look, let's take a quick break and we'll get back and chat about open round.
Awesome.
Brother, I got to say, you killed it in our preseason training.
Oh, I have been in the zone, really focusing not only on my physical health, but my hearing health as well.
Hearing health?
Yeah. Everyone's hearing is unique and sounds vary from your left to your right ear.
That makes so much sense.
We're lucky to have personalised sound here on set thanks to Idira headphones. Using their app, we set up our own individual hearing profiles.
Yeah, and the music sounds so much clearer now.
Check them out for yourselves. Brisbane Lions members get a huge 20% discount on any pair of Idira headphones.
If you are interested in learning more, head to idira.com.au.
All right, we're back. Welcome to Kick Ons if you're just joining us, sponsored by Idira. Nuxy, opening round. I guess, obviously not a great start to the year, but it's a long year. I guess from your point of view, what do you reckon about the game? I'll go into my point of view afterwards, but let us know what you thought.
Oh, look, we came out pretty well and we played like a side that played in the grand final last year. Carlton's run sort of got on top of us there in that second half, and we weren't able to just pull them back. And look, we'll work on those things as a footy club and get better with it. And we're looking for that challenge now to sort of respond back in, over in Perth.
Yeah, well, I guess from my point of view, pretty much like you said, we started really well. if you ask any of the boys, I'd probably say it's the best brand of footy we've probably played. But yeah, we had a really thorough meeting yesterday. A lot of boys would like a few of their moments back throughout that game, especially that sort of second half of the second quarter and the third quarter. We feel like that was sort of where the game was lost. So a lot of moments that stood out for us that we would like back. But I guess, like I said, it's a long season and we're going to go to Perth now, pick ourselves up and play Freo. So it's always a challenge. But and obviously another sad thing to come out of the game was our brother Kitty.
Yeah.
Yep. You know, and you want to have a chat about that? I believe you went into surgery today.
Yeah, went into the surgery today and went up and sat with his partner Riley and had a good old chat with her. But look, he's in good spirits. The doctors, did the surgeon who did the operation. He's pretty confident that it was a good operation. He's in recovery at the moment, and we'll probably go up and see him tomorrow before pickup and head him back home and get him nursed up at home, and go and do some visits. So I know some of the boys are pretty keen to do some cook-ups for him, and sort of I guess make it sort of easier for the family over there.
Yeah, I think it was such a hard thing to see because obviously his year last year was awesome. I guess everyone would have assumed that he was going to have a great year this year. I definitely thought he was off to a good start, and he's so important to us. So it was really sad to see him go down, but the boys have rallied around him and he's got really good support around him.
Yeah,
so
and it's good to see that the members as well and even other team supporters reaching out and giving their thoughts and prayers on his recovery. So, thank you very much to everyone outside of our footy club for their well wishes.
Yep, we'll come back bigger and better, bros. So we're thinking of you. All right, it's time for the Sports Spotlight thanks to TAB. So each week we're going to give our opinion on different topics regarding sports, not just AFL. So this week, early prediction on NRL premiers. Who do you reckon it's going to be?
Yeah, it was an interesting week last weekend. The Souths and then the Broncos lose over in Vegas. And then, the Warriors lost at home as well. So those teams there were sort of earmarked to be in that top four this year. I know it's only round one, so, sort of like us losing round one and everyone go, oh, shit, they're not going to make it anymore. But, look, just watching on the weekend's game, they're going to have learnings and stuff like that. But I reckon the Storm and Panthers will be up there again this year.
Yeah, I think the same, but I'm going to back the Broncos in. Local boys, obviously a great time for the city last year. Obviously couldn't get it done, but I have faith this year and we'll back them and we'll back us in. Yeah,
well, because last year we had a lot of Brisbane-based sporting teams in the grand finals. So, it was a good time to be in Brisbane. There was a lot of buzz. So hopefully that happens again this year.
Nice. So we got a special guest, first special guest for the year. Do you want to introduce him? Obviously, player at both clubs, pretty close with us as well. So
look, we ended up getting, or we wanted to do a segment where we get a past player to come in and give their opinion and talk about what they're doing after footy or post footy. So we've been able to get a Premiership player, played 52 games with the Brisbane Lions and 114 games with Fremantle Dockers. He was drafted by Subiaco, half forward flanker and on a wing. So he was guided by Lee Matthews at the time, and he was a number one draft pick in 1998. Debuted in round 13 against Sydney in 1994, and then he headed back home after that Premiership in 2001. Our special guest is none other than young Desi Headland.
G'day, Nuxy. How are you, brother? Thanks for the intro.
Nah, no worries. Thanks for joining us. Look, it's heading into this week. The Lions play Freo, and just sort of wanted to get a sort of an ex-player in to talk about, I guess both the clubs and how they're travelling at the moment, and Your opinion on who's going to win this week?
Mate, look, I think the Lions are the informed team, right? They looked pretty good the other night, the first half, and then unfortunately, couldn't hang on. Carlton come flying home in the second half. I know Cal's on the call as well, so he probably wants to forget about that game. But I haven't played yet. They've had a couple of scratch matches, which is, as you know, you can't really get a good indication of where the club's really at until the real stuff really starts. But look, the form the Lions showed early, was pretty impressive. So I think it's going to be a good game of footy. When the home team is at home, they seem to play well, and I'm just looking forward to the catching up with a few old teammates this weekend, and on Sunday Arvo, and hopefully there's a good game of footy. But I do believe the Lions will probably get up. After that loss that they should have won, they'll bounce back, and good teams like that do not never really lose two in a row, so they'll find a way.
Awesome. Desi Cal here. We actually go way back. Desi was one of my first coaches when I was probably under 15. We travelled on a away trip for the Indigenous Kickstart team for WA. Took out the championship, which was awesome. But Desi, just tell us about what you're doing now after football and how you're going with all that. I heard you're doing some tours and that around the footy, so you're going to be doing that this weekend as well?
Yeah, mate. So we do my dad and my sister and mum, we have a company called Marley Swan Tours. So we've got a bit of a cruise boat. It holds about 120 people. The Swan River's not really choppy, so you can sort of cruise up towards the Swan Valley quite a bit and do a few cultural tours. But when the footy season's on, we like to do sort of footy tours with some ex-players on there from the city into the good thing about Optus Stadium being on the river. It's got its own mooring and own spot you can jump off. So the good thing is we've got the Brisbane Lions West Australian WA Supporter Club. The group actually that the last sort of 3-4 years we've had them on the boat, and we get about 100 people. Awesome. Ash McGrath will jump on and talk like he talks, and Richie Hadley.
Miracle.
Yeah, always about the miracle in the grass. Absolutely, wants to replay every time he put it on. So as you should too. But I'm trying to work out with Big Bowie McDonald, because obviously he's still got commitments as a ruck coach, so he's got to be at the game a bit earlier. So I'm trying to get him on the drop them off on the way through, and we continue the cruise. So get a few ex-players on there, especially the Premiership players. And I'm actually doing a bit of research at the moment. A couple of older Fitzroy and Brisbane Bears players that are living in Perth, and hopefully get a hold of a couple and chuck them on the boat. And mate, it's a good day. But besides that, that's good. But I'm obviously got a business as well called Spartan First, so we do a lot of the pre-employment medicals and injury management in the mining space. And I've just opened up back up in Queensland, so I'm over there quite a bit now, which is good. So it'd be good to get a few Lions games this year. Got a couple last year, so it'd be good to get a few more.
Awesome, bros.
Yeah, so brother, look, we're just going to wind the clock back. So 1998, you were drafted and number one draft pick. Just wanted to sort of get a feel how you felt on that day, and do you remember where you were on that day?
We were in Melbourne for the draft. So it was pretty daunting, right? I grew up when you're a kid. I grew up in Merredin, a little country town east of Perth, and then you move into the city, and then about 2 years later, you're getting drafted over to Queensland. So it's a big, and Cal would have been the same, coming from the furthest trip away. But look, it was daunting, but pretty excited, especially when you meet Lee Matthews on the day, and the reputation that he has, and you're just a 17-year-old fresh boy trying to make conversation with one of the greatest of all time and the most feared person that you thought of at the time. And look, obviously it worked out great in terms of personally winning the premiership with the club, and having still some good friendships and some that bond that you still have 20 plus years later.
That sounds good, brother. So and then the decision to come home back to Perth, just family, being close to family.
Yeah, well, obviously that's a tough one. Me and Chantel were both 21 with 2 kids at the time, so made a big decision to take the family back home to WA. So my wife and the kids can be around family. We all know the rigours and the time frame of AFL footballers, and having that family structure and support is crucial and key. And made that decision to come back home to WA. Obviously, Fremantle was the club. But look, Brisbane. Brisbane holds a special place for me as a 17-year-old boy. Becoming a man, grew up into a man there, and having my own kids in Brisbane and then moving back to WA. Things I do now in life, I look back on my time at Brizzy. When you got like Magic McLean and Craig Lambert and Lee Matthews, leading the way, and you got the Fosters of the world that are setting the standards in terms of life outside of football, and you still think of those values every single day when you wake up. So that was a big part of my life for sure.
Yeah, no, deadly, bro, deadly.
Yeah, well, Desi, that's it. But we just want to say thank you for coming on. This is actually our first episode, so you kicked us off to a good start.
Nuxy was pretty nervous.
Yeah, shaky, isn't he?
Yeah. You can see it here in my throat.
I appreciate that, bros. And hopefully we come over there and have a win, and it's a good battle, and hopefully run into you as well. But all the best, and thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks, boys. And, Cal, good luck on Sunday. And we'll catch up with you soon, Nuxy. Cheers, boys.
Cheers, brother.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks, Desi, for that. Really great insight there. Just letting us know about how he got across here, and then all of a sudden, had to move back home to get closer to family and stuff. But look, great insight there put from Desi about the Fremantle game this week. It's round one, and we're coming off a narrow loss, so. Look, Cal, tell us the preparation for this week, and what have you guys done as a group just to prepare for Freo?
Yeah, well, like I said earlier, did a pretty thorough review of the game on the weekend. Got to turn it around pretty quickly. We had a look at Freo today. Obviously, haven't played a proper match yet, so we've had to sort of look at some vision from last year, a little bit of their scratches as well. It's always a tough trip going over to Perth.
Yeah, 5 hours, isn't it, over there?
Yeah.
On the way there?
Yep.
How do you deal with that stuff?
It's all right for me because I know I'm going home. And I love Perth, miss it. Obviously, he is home now. But, we get there a little bit earlier. Normally, we get there to away games just the day before, but go a day earlier to Perth just to, freshen up and give us an extra day to get ready and get comfortable. So, I don't take it too differently. I treat it the same every week. It's just a bit of a longer travel, that's all. Obviously a big match against those guys. It's always a battle every time I go over there. So
We only won by 3 points last year as well, and we got off to a good start again, and they reeled us in. So. Yeah. I believe there's also potentially a Saturday open training session for WA supporters to go along and have a look. And, I think we're over there twice this year, so that's a good thing for our WA supporters. Yeah,
it'll be good to see all the fans. It's always good to see the interstate fans, I guess, because they obviously don't get to watch us train up here. But it's always good to see that we've got support in other states. So can't wait for that, and hopefully we can have a few Lions fans at the game as well. It'd be good.
And then look, I guess going into this week, who's sort of the important matchups for us, do you think?
Oh, that's a tough one. Obviously you got some really good midfielders, some young players. Brayshaw, you got Fife, obviously, who's a big presence. But they've also got some really good intercept players as well. You got Ryan down back, who is pretty damn good, coming off, floating off, and intercepting. Same as Pearce as well.
And young, is it Young? The Young?
Yeah,
last name Young?
him as well.
Young.
They've just got a real good core of young players who are coming through, really establishing themselves in the comp now. So, it's going to be a big team matchup, I guess, not just a couple of players. We'll be preparing for a solid battle.
And Optus is not like the old Subiaco Oval, is it, when it's nice and long and wide. So, with our frontal pressure and just get up in their face sort of technique we do here is, hopefully that get us over the line as well.
Yeah, I think we learned a big lesson from last week. So looking to rectify that. And I reckon everyone's really keen to get over there and make amends.
Yeah, beautiful, brother. So look, that's it all for we've got for the time. Cal, we made it to the end. First episode, and look, thanks for the listeners that tuning in, and hopefully we can get better as we go along. As you can tell, we're a bit nervous still, but look, thanks for listening in, and look forward to the next episode.
Awesome. Thanks for listening, guys. A little bit shaky, but we'll get there.